Hey guys, we're gonna get back to basics and start playing around with computer stuff again in this video. So, to start it out, I've been wanting to replace or upgrade the video card in my wife's computer. She's running a GTX 680 right now inside of it. It's an older computer with PCIe 2 slot and a first gen i7 that's running it. So I don't really see it worth getting a high-end card like a 1080 or maybe not even a 1070, but I've been on the fence of upgrading it regardless because the 680 when it came out was basically one of the best cards you could get at the time, and it's been holding its own for quite a while. In all the games that we play together, it runs all the games at max settings at more than 60 frames a second for most of the time, so it really doesn't have much issue. But it is hot and loud, and I think that's annoying, so I've been trying to find a better card for it. So a couple weeks ago, I came across a deal where a GTX 1060 was being sold for $150 after like a $20 rebate, which is just a fantastic deal. I didn't realize it was a fantastic deal at the time, so I didn't take it, missed out on that opportunity, but I've been looking for something that's similar ever since. And the 1050 Ti and the 1060 are kind of close in performance, but when I compare them against the 680, or at least just looking at stats and what they can do, the 1050 Ti is about the equivalent, a little bit better than the 680. So I came across this bad boy right here, an EVGA 1050 Ti SSC for $119 refurbished, shipped to my house. So here's the card. But as I mentioned, looking at the stats, it is very similar to performance in the 680. But it does have advantages of where it's a tiny card. You can kind of see on the back where, like, that's just extra stuff that they put on to help support the extra cooling that they put on the card. But in fact, it's a tiny card. There's no extra power that needs to get plugged into it. It's just... I think it's a pretty impressive card, especially for $119, but I still find it hard to believe that it's as good or better than a 680, which was a top-end card back in the day, which wasn't that long ago. So let's take a closer look at the card, and then let's get into some benchmarks for games that were pretty relevant at the time that the 680 came out, and see how the 1050 Ti stacks against it. With the Starcraft 2 benchmarks, I'm sorry they may be a little bit off when comparing the two cards. They don't have a built-in benchmark. I tried to keep them the same by loading the same level and then loading the same points on both graphics cards when I was testing it out. I do think the 1050 Ti was a little bit stronger than the 680 at playing that game, but with that being said, they are pretty similar from what I could test. I know my numbers that I showed earlier don't show that, but I mean, your results may vary. After looking at the other benchmarks, I don't see any reason to swap out the 680 with the 1050 Ti inside my wife's computer, but I do have some other ideas of where I can use the 1050 Ti, so if you want to see those, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. But in the comments below, let me know what you think about my results, and if you like this video, give me a like, and I'll see you in the next one.